Today's lesson is lesson 8.8, addition word problems. Today you're going to be given several word problems and you have to decide how to solve them. And I'll give you a hint, reading very carefully is going to help you out a lot on these problems today. Remember in the classroom we would always circle the numbers that we see in each problem and we would underline the magic word that tells us whether we need to add or subtract. Some of us got in the habit though of just finding the two numbers and automatically adding them up. That is going to be problematic in this lesson because you really have to read carefully to find out a few of the trickier problems. So this one says, Amy has 9 books about dogs. She has 13 books about cats. How many books does she have about cats and dogs? And is our magic word here. So I'm going to model using my tens and ones blocks. If you would like, on today's lesson, you are given some virtual tools to use. You can drag and drop your tens and ones blocks that are on the computer. Whatever you want to do, whatever is easiest for you, I'm happy with it, okay? As long as you're double checking your work. So I'm going to start by modeling. If Amy has 9 books about dogs, I'm going to pretend that these cubes are books about dogs. And it's good to only put 5 in a tower so they're easier to count. Okay, so this is 9, 5 plus 4. And I don't have enough to make a 10, right? So that's why I did it that way. And then 13 books about cats, I will model those. There's 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, I know that 9 plus 1 makes a group of 10. So I'm going to take this little guy and move that over there. Now I have 10, 20, 21, 22. So she has 22 books about dogs and cats. Now here is the type of problem I was talking about that's really tricky, and if you don't read carefully, I can tell some of you might get this wrong because it is tricky. So it says Jean buys 2 bags of apples. Each bag has 20 apples. How many apples does she buy? Well, if you're just looking at the numbers and you say, oh, 2 plus 20, that's 22. That's the wrong answer because she buys 2 bags of apples. So we're gonna imagine a bag here and a bag here. And in each bag, there are 20 apples. So I could put out 20 of these guys, but it's so much easier to say, okay, here's one. That's her basket of 20, or her bag of 20 apples, but she's got 2 of those. So I need to put out another bag with 20 apples, 10, 20. So how many apples did Jean buy? 10, 20, 30, 40 apples. Very different from just adding up the numbers you see and saying 22. No, the answer is 40. So be careful today as you go through the problems. Make sure you are double checking. Good mathematicians always do each problem twice to double check. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.